You probably know Waffle House for two things, other than their waffles, of course, and that is their biblical brawls and their reputation for always being open. Waffle House has built its reputation by maintaining a policy of staying open as much as humanly possible, being open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, while also staying open even during events that could cause other restaurants to close up for the day. And even if they are forced to shut their doors, they will return to normal operations as soon as possible. This policy on serving customers whenever possible inspired former FEMA administrator Craig Fugit to create the Waffle House Index in 2011, an unofficial index that is used to determine how an event can affect a restaurant's ability to operate by using three colors. Green means business as usual, with the menu being unaffected and little to no power or infrastructure damage. Yellow means that there's a limited menu due to damage to the building or to the power, with power being out or generated by backup generator. And red means the restaurant is forced to close, usually accompanying significant risk of damage to the building or flooding. If you're wondering what it takes to close down your local Waffle House, then worry no longer as we go down the Waffle House Index Iceberg. So go ahead and pop some waffles in, or go to a Waffle House and listen to this, and kind of handle this video as a Waffle House during a storm. Go ahead and sit down, and all you got to do to pay for your entertainment is subscribe and like the video, but you don't have to do that. Let's subscribe though. But anyways, without a further ado, let's get into the iceberg. Starting the green tier of the iceberg, we have minor earthquakes. Small earthquakes are typically measured around 2.5 or less on the earthquake magnitude scale, which is sometimes not even enough to be noticed, yet can still be measured by a seismograph. Earthquakes at these levels occur millions of times a year and tend to lead to no damage, with maybe a painting being shook or something falling off the edge of a counter, and even then, this wouldn't delay a brave Waffle House worker from getting you your meal. Given during the making of this video, your boy is living in the middle of a heat wave, I can tell you firsthand, heat waves suck. And although heat waves make outdoors a living nightmare, the air conditioning of a Waffle House can turn the restaurant into an oasis for those wanting a break from the heat and maybe a quick meal. Not only is Waffle House not directly deterred by heat waves, but they thrive so long as the air conditioners are well maintained, potentially raising business for those stranded in the heat. And now moving down to the lime tier, we have light to moderate earthquakes. And now business begins to slow down a little, with earthquakes from a range of magnitudes of 4 to 6 beginning to become more dangerous. These earthquakes can cause more items to fall from counters or on the walls, and will begin to cause slight damage to the structure caught in the range. This can cause outages and structural damage. Business should continue with possible delay though. Now this entry is more of a meme, however, a Waffle House has never needed to shut down operations in a war zone, mostly due to the fact that a Waffle House has never been in an active war zone, but business would most likely close down. This probably would be a red. If bombs are going off all over the place, I'm pretty sure you're not going into check it into the good old Waffle House. But a Waffle House probably wouldn't be the most sought out point to capture, although it is quite a durable structure. So maybe they would hold down the Waffle House, in kind of like a modern warfare type scenario. And now we delve into the yellow tier, as we start with strong earthquakes. These will greatly limit business as power outages and structural damage is highly likely to occur. Strong earthquakes are measured at a range of magnitudes from 6 to 6.9, where more significant damage is likely to occur. This is around the point that structures risk being destroyed. However, Waffle Houses are designed specifically for resilience, with everything down to the location of the construction being strategically placed in areas to avoid disaster. But even so, the power is more likely to go out, with service being slower and items being unavailable due to a lack of power. The Torino scale is a scale which is used to categorize the risk objects falling to Earth hold on those on the ground, scaling from 0 to 10. Level 8 impacts are on the higher side when it comes to this scale, with these impacts causing large-scale damage around the point of impact, with potential to cause tsunamis if the impact were to occur off a coast. Level 8 impacts are pretty rare, with a large example being the Tunguska event of 1908, where a large meteor fell in the Siberian wilderness, causing a massive blast that flattened an estimated 80 million trees from the point of impact. Now, if an asteroid of this magnitude landed on a Waffle House, it's toast. Or maybe waffles. There's no shot. But if it's a few miles out, then the higher risk would be of a power outage or maybe some broken glass from the blast, but business may continue as usual, and you'll probably have a cool story on the way home. If your car survives, that is. Wildfires can wipe away hundreds of miles of wilderness and entire neighborhoods in the blink of an eye. Wildfires being at yellow is pretty misleading, as Waffle Houses have closed up shop due to wildfires posing a threat to the employees, even if the Waffle House ultimately didn't get burnt. Even if the building is fireproof, the cars in the parking lot basically turn into bombs, and the smoke from outside would suffocate anybody trapped inside of a Waffle House. And the only circumstances that a Waffle House would remain open include the restaurant's proximity to the fire, air quality, and access of incoming shipments and utilities being unaffected by the fire at large. Blizzards are a pretty sizable risk to operations at a Waffle House, as shutdown roads can prevent employees from getting to and from work. And even aside from that, power outages can limit the menu and even cause the crew to shut down for the day if they can't warm up the spot in time. So this is another entry where you could probably move it down a tier. I don't really think it should be in yellow because, yeah, getting to and from work is near impossible during a blizzard. The tornado is pretty much the first phenomenon you think of when talk of destructive weather pops up. Tornadoes can cause long-lasting damage to communities of all sizes, and Waffle Houses are no exception. In fact, the iconic image of the remains of a Waffle House in Mississippi, which is used in this iceberg, was caused due to a hurricane, which I know it's not a tornado, but there's no hurricane section on here for some reason, so you get the gist of it. It's the most similar thing. But yeah, the building is built for resilience and will probably hold up more than your typical McDonald's. But even if the building stands strong, power is sure to go out. So even in a best possible scenario where you're out of the range of the tornado, your meal might not make it in time. And to get a little more risky, we're moving into the orange tier. And with that, we have major earthquakes, where Mother Nature is capable of toppling the Waffle House of ease. Great earthquakes clock in at magnitudes of 7 to 7.9, causing serious damage to even the sturdiest of structures. These earthquakes can easily turn a Waffle House into a pile of rubble, so it is important to leave quick. And an important kind of commonality of this tier is that many of the entries could kind of drift into yellow or red, depending on how the incident plays out and the proximity to the incident that the Waffle House is in, and of course other road like transport and all of that as well. Limnic eruptions are a rare natural disaster that occurs when clouds of carbon dioxide erupt from the bottom of the lakes, which are fatal to everything in the proximity of the clouds, asphyxiating whatever breathes in the toxic fumes. This would easily cause employees to leave the area prior, so really this should be in red, as there's no way you can really work during these eruptions without suffocating. Now, landslides tend to vary in terms of severity, like many other disasters on this iceberg. Landslides at best could end up pelting a building for a bit, but at worst, it could sweep away the Waffle House and the foundation beneath it, leaving the land to appear as if there was never anything there to begin with. And due to this range of damage, this entry is perfect for orange, but could really move to yellow or red based on the intensity. Now, I don't think a Waffle House has ever been caught in an avalanche, given there aren't many Waffle Houses located near snow-capped mountains in the American Southeast, but an avalanche could easily cause harm to a Waffle House. They are pretty much landslides with snow, However, avalanches tend to cause rock slides or landslides as a result of all the snow moving downhill at such devastating speeds. Avalanches could do anything a landslide could do, but even worse in some cases. So yeah, this, like the past century, could float either way. Flooding is extremely dangerous for a multitude of reasons. The water, of course, is extremely dangerous, serving as a mixture of pretty much everything on the ground at the time, easily making whoever falls in a high risk of catching something really bad. Flooding also cuts off all modes of transportation outside of boats in affected areas, on top of the mold and water damage that follows after the water will eventually dry up. In this case, a Waffle House would be more of a refuge than a restaurant, because yeah, no one's going to deliver you your chicken and waffles via boat, bro. Given we all just made it out of a pandemic, not much explaining needs to be done on how it can affect society at large. Every restaurant had to change everything up, with Waffle House being no different, as several locations adjusting into an hourly based schedule along with closing some locations temporarily in wake of the pandemic. The sit-down structure of the building was also rendered pointless as they had to shift to a takeout or delivery-only model of business. Now, our pandemic caused Waffle House to survive by adjusting to the circumstances, but a more dangerous pandemic could easily force the franchise out of operation, or even out of business entirely. And now, we move down to the red tier, where staff must evacuate or face destruction. Starting off this tier, we have great earthquakes. Great earthquakes are anything but great, with them reaching into magnitudes of 8 or above, and are the rarest and most fatal types of earthquakes. These earthquakes destroy anything caught in its radius, toppling massive buildings and cracking the earth like an egg, turning uniform cities into flattened piles of rubble. Waffle House stands no chance in a great earthquake, and everyone inside should try to find a safer place. Scale 9 impacts have never actually been documented on Earth. However, if one were to happen, we would witness wide-scale devastation of which we have never seen before. A Scale 9 impact would cause destruction for miles and would cause colossal tsunamis if the asteroid were to land in the ocean. The impact would probably be comparable to our strongest nuclear weapons going off. So yeah, Waffle House would not keep you safe. You gotta leave days before this thing lands down in your area. Now, more on tsunamis. Tsunamis occur when water is disturbed by activity, usually an earthquake, but could be anything that causes the ocean or a lake to tremble, creating massive waves. These waves will barrel towards the shore with great force, causing large-scale destruction and flooding to those who live on the coast. Your Waffle House would look like the image shown earlier if it was caught up in a tsunami, so yeah, you aren't safe there either. Volcanic eruptions are one of nature's most dangerous weapons, doing a lot more than just spewing lava all over the place. On top of all the molten rock cascading down the volcano like a waterfall, large clouds composed of toxic gases, rock, and glass will block out the sky until it falls to the land below, effectively destroying everything in the area, poisoning the water and coating the land. And if it were to rain, the rain would be highly acidic, killing off most plants and animal life below. That being said, I don't think many Waffle Houses are located near active volcanoes, so you should be good. But if there is one, yeah, you're cooked, buddy. And down in the depths of the iceberg, we are brought to Tier Black, where cataclysms will render every Waffle House, or maybe even mankind as we know it, destroyed. And to start this off, we have Torino Scale 10 asteroid impacts. Scale 10 impacts are the big destructive impacts you see in apocalypse movies. The most notable Scale 10 was the Chicxulub impact 66 million years ago, which was thought to be the key reasons behind why non-avian dinosaurs went extinct and shaped life on this planet in an awe-inspiring way that would eventually lead to us. These impacts not only would cause huge tsunamis and earth tremors, but all the debris kicked up into the air would block out the sun, causing a basically eternal winter. So yeah, your drink's coming right up, pal. Supervolcano eruptions are super powerful eruptions that are measured on the Volcanic Explosivity Index of 8, the highest point on the index. These eruptions impact the entire world's climate as volcanic ash from the clouds cover the planet for thousands of miles, causing many extinctions due to the toxic debris and a side effect of the clouds creating a mini ice age over areas affected, creating a scenario that can devastate life all over. Supervolcano eruptions in the past were not only another culprit of the dinosaurs going extinct, but several other mass extinction events, with the most notable being the Great Dying, which occurred 250 million years ago and wiped out 90% of all life on Earth. This event would eventually lead to dinosaurs taking over for their time. So yeah, waffles aren't coming if this happens in Yellowstone. And that's gonna do it for the Waffle House Index Iceberg. I really wanted to do this iceberg for a long time. I had it on the back burner for a while, but never actually ended up doing it. So getting to do it now, it's really fun going through this iceberg. I really wanted to do this for a while. But I would like to thank all of you who made it this far into the video for watching. I had a lot of fun doing this. Of course, this is another quicker video. It's going to be a shorter video, but should still be entertaining nonetheless. Let me know how you feel about the shorter videos. The shorter videos are pretty good because it allows me to put them out a lot quicker. But if you prefer the long-term videos, just comment down below like, hey, I want longer videos, bruh. Put out longer videos. But anyway, again, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Right, I appreciate y'all for sticking around and watching the videos. They're a lot of fun to make, so I hope they're a lot of fun to watch for y'all. And with that, this is me signing out again. Have yourself a good one. Bye, the video full.